would you be disappointed if Tennessee didn't hammer Mississippi State? And you can argue that 20 points is hammering, 40 points is hammering. I'll let you decide what you want to do there. But the one thing you have to do is what Cooper Mays says, because he's big and mean.
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
All right, 4 reasons why Tennessee should hammer the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And number 1 is this.
Coop here. First down.
All right, we haven't had the breakout game from Nico, and Caleb and I should take back or pull down some of our broadcasts where we said this week's the breakout game, because we both believed in Nico off sources, off our eye test and everything. He hasn't had the breakout game, but Caleb, I'll tell you this, I'm completely sold on Nico, not only in 2025 when he has another offseason to mature, but this year. And this year going forward, I believe Nico Iamaleava can be a championship-winning quarterback. Now, on the flip side, you've got the president, who you mentioned yesterday, Michael Van Buren Jr. He ranks 11th in the SEC. Nico ranks 6th best in the SEC, which is solid as a first-year starter, but if not for some drop passes and some holds, he'd probably be considerably higher. So there's a big-time quarterback advantage, and I'll have my prediction coming up. Caleb?
No, there's a huge quarterback advantage. Tennessee should have the much better quarterback. I want to be fair to Michael Van Buren Jr. Blake Shapen got hurt. He was forced in and inherited a mess, taking over a mess. He's actually very similar to the president. Just a quick history lesson. Martin Van Buren took over for Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson straight up crashed the economy because he got rid of the National Bank, which created a massive panic in 1841, wrecked everything, and Martin Van Buren was left holding the bag because Andrew Jackson mismanaged the economy. Okay. That kind of Michael Van Buren is forced in because other people mismanaged everything before him. So he's in a really bad situation.
Ed is for UT, says, I'll be excited if they score over 30. That's going to happen, and I'll tell you why. What down is next, Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
All right, second down, and you can read this on offthehooksports.com. State can't stop the pass. They're 15th in the SEC in defending the pass. They allow 250 yards per game. We all said that Nico had a great game against Kentucky, and he threw for how many yards? About 290, is that right?
292, yeah.
Okay. I mean, he can throw for 250 yards and a half with a hangover. Okay, so he's going to throw for over 350 yards. I'm not taking the narrative of Nico arrives this week. He just has to show up and play his game, and he's going to throw for about 300 and I'd say 330 actually, and about 4 or 5 touchdowns. This game, tell me if you would argue this. This game is closer. This team and this matchup is closer to Kent State than it is Kentucky.
Defensively, yes. Mississippi State defensively is closer to Kent State than Kentucky. I think offensively they might be better than Kentucky. So offensively,
but we're splitting. You would agree we're splitting hairs a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I mean, these are two bad. If they played each other, here, I'll work on that. I'll reach out to our gambling expert and find out where Tennessee would be picked. Where Mississippi State and Kent State, where the line would be. What down's next?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
State can't stop the run either. They allow 211 yards rushing per game. That is 16th in the SEC. And Caleb, check out this stat of the moment. That's 50 yards worse than Florida, who's 15th. I mean, they're not just bad at stopping the run. They're historically bad at stopping the run.
Yes. It's funny you mentioned that because you're right, they're historically bad. They're absolutely terrible. We'll get that out of the way. But also, it might hurt Nico's chance to get a lot of yards because he might the difference between this and Kent State, Tennessee had a lot of short fields against Kent State because Kent State was so god-awful that, Tennessee's almost basically would get the ball at the 40 every time. And, I mean, they should have – I can't believe Kent State didn't agree to a mercy rule on that one. But Mississippi State won't give them that. But how is Nico going to get his 300 yards if every time Dylan Sampson touches the ball, he runs 50 yards to the house?
Well, he might, but he's going to, because Josh Heupel wants it to be that way. 4 Downs brought to you by Double D Piping.
Double D Piping provides full-service fire protection on any scale. From residential homes to government facilities, we can assist any customer through design, fabrication, installation, inspection, and demonstration of fire suppression systems. With 30 years of service across 5 states and a full staff with over 40 years experience, our quality can't be beat. Don't get caught watching what you could have prevented. Call Double D Piping, the absolute best in fire prevention.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. 4th down.
All right, 4 reasons why Tennessee will hammer the Bulldogs. State can't score. I mean, that's what you thought that Jeff Lebby would bring to this football team, but State's 12th in the SEC in points scored per game, which is 29.1 per contest. I mean, how are they going to score against one of the best defenses in the nation? My final prediction, Tennessee 48, Mississippi State 9. And if I could go back and change it, I probably would say Mississippi State 6.
You don't think State can get more than 6 points? Yeah, maybe not against this defense. You might have a point. See, I feel like they could get a touchdown. They could catch Tennessee off guard at some point. I think they can get to double digits in this game, honestly. I think they can get to 10 to 14.
I think Tennessee controls the clock with high tempo. I think they come after Martin Van Buren, the junior, the second.
Michael Van Buren.
I know, but I have a problem with this recent influx of suffixes with names. Everybody's the second or the third or a junior or a senior. I'm the second, but I don't go by Dave Hooker the second. I mean, what is the deal with all these suffixes on names, Caleb?
More people are now juniors in the seconds than they used to be. What's your beef, bro? What's your beef?
Suffixes. That's my beef. All right. So you think Van Buren can lead State to what? Have you given out your final pick, or are you saving that for the end of the program?
Saving that for the end of the program. But I think Van Buren can get them to double digits.
All right. If you had a bet that Van Buren could get them to 6 or 13, what would you pick?
I'd lean 13 at that point. I would definitely lean 13 at that point. I don't think it'd be close.
You heard him say it. Make a short out of that.